All right. I absolutely love Coinbase listings. I mean, they either list and they rocket shot, or they list and drop like crazy and bounce like crazy. And no exception for Function X. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how I'm going to trade this with my account. I'm actually going to do two things. I have no idea what Function X is. So I glanced at it briefly before I started the video, and I'm just going to give you my like off the cuff thoughts, and I'm going to do two things with this. I'm actually going to grid trade this because I don't know anything about it, but I like the volatility and the price action. I've already got it going, started up a couple hours ago, and I'm looking for a one-way directional trade as well. And I'm going to chart off where some areas are that I might be interested in that. But let's just look at the metrics first. All right, so overall the website, man, it's fantastic. I really love this kind of website stuff. I mean, I'm about the flash, like if you're trying to sell something, you don't sell the steak, you sell the sizzle. I mean, they've got that down. So what do they actually do? It says they're next gen asset offering and trading. No idea. And it goes on with some fluff, right? So that's cool. But they've got the other parts right. So they're a bridging traditional and decentralized market community. And apparently they have a community because they've gotten listed on Coinbase, so they're validitized. What else they do? Wow, look at that website. Just, that's beautiful. It says they're integrating Ethereum and more to create value. By integrating various ecosystems, Ethereum and others, we enhance the liquidity and value of original assets on Function X. Rather than building an ecosystem that competes with Ethereum, we aim to leverage on its strength, such as providing asset aggregation contracts, connecting to Ethereum smart contracts, and generating interest at the same time in both and more chains. Still sounds like fluff to me. Don't know who they are, but they've got a pretty good following so far from what I've seen in price action and getting listed. So multi-chain cross-chains, right? That's cool. Like that's a big thing right now. POS consensus, cross-chain bridge. A lot of people are into that. Yeah, their APY, 31% for the delegation reward. I can see why people are snapping this up and throwing it on there. If they're on Coinbase and they're pretty solid, I mean, like you can do much better on a DEX, staking over there and farming that percentage. But I don't know, a lot of those contracts get drained. It's not for me. Getting 31% off Coinbase though, that's nice. So the site's slick. Now, I always like to look at the team. I hate to be judgmental like that, but this is my money and I'm trying to decide, do I like the team? Do I like what I see? And I only see three people on here, the president, council member, and Mr. David Ben here. And I don't want to be unkind or anything, but they look like they have a lot of experience, I guess is the way that I want to say this. I don't know who he is, but he has his, credentials from UCLA. It's a good school. I've never heard anything bad about the guy. He's got some good, write-ups on there if it's all true. This gentleman looks like he's, it's a good pitcher. He's upbeat. I like that. I don't like those projects I look at where they look like they're being beaten in the basement and they couldn't stand the project. They're just like drones. This guy looks like he really likes his, well, at least when he took the picture, looks like he likes what he does. He's a happy guy in life. So I assume he'd only join a happy project because he wouldn't want to run that. This guy, however, looks like maybe he's, snowboarding or something. He's enjoying life, but he's got, some credentials there too. He aims at humanizing blockchain technology. So he's a guy that has, I guess, the humanizing factor to things. So I don't know, decent team, kind of small, but if this is the stuff they're building, I still expect good things from them. I can look past some of the other things that I just noticed there. Cross-chain, DeFi, fiat on-ramp support. I mean, that's, big buzzwords in the industry right now. So for a while, they'll probably do good. Now, because of all that, and because of the few things that I said, maybe I like, maybe I don't, that's why I'm gonna, for the most part, only look for like maybe one directional trade off momentum. Not so much. I'm not going to buy and hold this project because I don't know enough about it. I'm looking just for a trade and scalping the volatility. So let's look at. All right, they're $1.64 right now. They're up 24%. They were listed, I don't know, maybe like 15 hours ago. Take a look at it. I like their token supply. Their token supply floating right now is only 405 million. That makes me happy. I'm not a fan of these super high floats that needs just tons and tons of people to move it. Like this could be like a $2, $3, $4 token, like, with that supply and the amount of money floating around and, the hot buzzwords, it's possible. I think that it's doable. The max circulating supply, being 1 billion, it's not so terrible these days. And given what they do, I think it's okay in the space. Let's look over here a little bit. Let's see. Function X token is the governance token for the Function X projects. Users may use the Function X token to vote. It's, all the same. Every project's exactly the same. It's how they're sidestepping ICO and all the other stuff. They're giving out tokens, and the token is not supposed to have monetary value, so it can beat the Howey test. It just has the ability of letting you vote. And if you want to buy someone else's ability to vote, hey man, it's not on us if you buy the token. So, pretty common model. The last is the price action. That's why I'm trading it on a bot for grid. 130 to 175. Man, that's really nice. Here's what does concern me though. The high being 2 and the listing being 72 cents. That's a pretty big range. I would hate to be the people that thought it was going to keep breaking out and going to 4 right now and paid 2 and could have, maybe paid, what did that come down to? Like $1. And it lost 50%. For people trading grid or bot, hey, no problem. It's perfect. It's looking for a one-way trade. It's pretty much almost maxed out right now. I think I want to, probably skip on that. And even back in the day, like you can see right where it came and dipped down to, on top of the old tops. So that's pretty much probably heavy support. But if it gave away, 95, 94 is right below, and then down at 75. I mean, it could break it past $1 and hit 75. Who knows? That's why I don't really want to get into this token for more of a longer range play. And I don't think their tech is good enough for me to say. I mean, it's kind of like buzzwords, but there's a lot of projects like that. So let's see what else we got going on here. Overall volume is really, really, really good. Wow, it's really good. Okay. Up 140% in 24 hours. 141, million. It's pretty significant. I mean, that's a good rotation for the market cap. Where are all they listed at? Obviously Coinbase, that legitimizes them to me. KuCoin, that's cool. BitThumb, no big deal to me. Bittrex, interesting. Bittrex just keeps hanging on and hanging on. I don't know how they stay in business, other than they're USA based. But Bittrex is a decent exchange. They've really cleaned up their interface. I like Bittrex now to some degree, but they've just never won me back to trade on them. I don't know why. They actually have a much better interface than Coinbase, but the reality is their volume is bad. They're having problems attracting traders, but I still think it's a legitimate exchange. They got their KYC and all that. And last I checked, I think they're FDIC insured for American people. So, it's got its bonuses. So to me, this project's on 2 really good American exchanges. That makes a difference to me. And what else we got going on here? Let's go look over. All right. So here we are looking at, this is the listing, listed out $1.89, dropped down about $1. Got some little volume profile on it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's been 5 days. I guess I was a little later than I thought. I thought I was a little earlier. I guess I took notice of it right here. That's why. I must have just totally ignored it as it was trailing off. And then as soon as it had volatility, I was interested. I wish I would have been looking at it for a one-way trade and, trading back to like one of these overhead reses at maybe 150, 170. Let's just go ahead and mark those off too. 170s, real good. 138. And that's actually the range that I set to grid trade. And you'll see in a second why I set it that way. And that's a fantastic pop in 1 hour. I mean, that just cleared all my cells, and hopefully it's going to drop and reload me and just range right there. That's what I'm looking for. If it does break out though, where could we go? 240 just off the cuff, looking at the amplitude and everything. If it breaks down, 103, and that's, I'd be stopping out, if I took a long, maybe at like 138. Personally myself, I'd probably dump it at like 125, and I'd let this token settle because I just don't know enough about it and haven't heard enough about this project. Like, this is the first time I've ever even heard of this project. 191 underside will probably be resistance for a while. I'll probably reject it around in this area for, day or two. And then if it does settle and start to consolidate just like this did, I'd look for the next pop and I might throw a one-way trade on. But mostly for me, this is what I'm doing right now. You can see I started up right here. All the greens, obviously buys, all the reds are sells. So all my grid, All these green lines are buys and all the reds are sells. So when I started it here, it's cleared almost all my sells. I'm waiting for a reload. And that was what I was talking about. I thrown on 135 to about 175 is where I felt it would range for maybe 24 hours. And that's all I want to do. I just want to, collect all the money I can from ranging off my bot. And if I see something consolidate that looks good, I'll one-way trade it and throw on, a sizable amount to take a one-way trade for maybe 50 cents up to the 240 area, or maybe from 130s to like underside of 191, $2. I don't want to be too greedy because I'm sure nobody else really has an idea where it's going either. So when people see good gains, they're most likely going to take it. Looking at the volume profile down here, you can see that it's got a few good sell spikes. People are taking some profits because this is off Coinbase. There's no shorting here. This is just all buy and sell. I think it looks pretty good though between 138 and 191, and I think it's good for botting for a day or two, and maybe revisit in a day or two and see where it consolidates, because I could see it going to maybe 3, and I would like to maybe try that off the upper side of 2 after it pushes over, pulls back, tests, and consolidate holds, and proves it can hold at 2. I think it could probably go for 3 because Coinbase listings are just fantastic. Good luck.